Today we conclude our look at the book of James by considering the 5th chapter, verses 13 through 18. Throughout his writings, James hammers away at the idea that what we do is an expression of what we believe, and how, as he put it, faith without works is dead. In the last verses of the final chapter of his epistle, however, James puts a bit more emphasis on the faith part. He deals specifically with the power of prayer. He talks of prayers of intercession and prayers for healing. He talks about individual prayers and corporate prayers. The one thing that comes through loud and clear is his unshakable belief in what prayer can accomplish, which is why he says, quote, "The prayers of a righteous person are powerful and effective." What do you think about the power of prayer? Certainly at one time or another, all of us have wondered why one issue is prayed about and seems to receive an immediate answer, while another issue is prayed about, but the prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling. Or what about prayers for healing? We often hear someone report that prayers were said for a desperately ill friend or relative, and a miracle occurred. Their health was restored, their life was saved. We find ourselves thinking about somebody else just as dear to us, for whom we prayed, but healing did not come. In truth, I cannot answer those questions. I'm not sure anyone can. At the end of the day, life happens. Why one road turns in one direction, but another turns the opposite way, I cannot explain. The simple truth is that all roads do not turn alike. Maybe ultimately, prayer is not about changing God's mind anyway, not about telling God what ought to be done. The great Danish theologian Søren Kierkegaard wrote, "The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays." When I pray in the face of crisis, I find comfort. And with comfort comes a greater clarity of thought, so that I can make better decisions than would be the case if I grabbed at the first option that hits my mind when I'm anxious or stressed. My mother used to pray whenever she misplaced her car keys. Then she would go on about her business as if nothing were wrong, humming songs or eating a snack, as calm could be. I always thought, God has bigger issues to manage than finding Mom's car keys. She needs to keep looking. But every time, in time, she would remember where they were. And she would say, "See, my prayers were answered." In all likelihood, just the calm that came from praying cleared her mind sufficiently that she could remember where she left them. But then, isn't that just as much an answer to prayer as if God had magically made the keys appear? When I pray about moral decisions, I put myself into an arena of thinking about things ethical. When I pray about financial concerns, I put myself into an arena of thinking about the spiritual use of money. When I pray about people I love, I put myself into an arena where I feel led to make that love practical and visible. Whether or not God's voice is heard giving an answer from the clouds, invoking God's presence still leads to an answer. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. Therefore, James would say, the prayers of a righteous person are powerful and effective. Think about these two questions. One, what did Harry Denman mean when he talked about the power of prayer is listening? Two, when have you experienced the reality of an answered prayer? How did it happen? This concludes our look at the book of James. Thanks for being part of it. We'll see you next time.